محمد بن عبد الله وعلى آل حزب الله ما بعد فقد قال الله تعالى في محكمه التنزيل وفي فرقانه المجيد بعد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم يا أيها الذين آمنوا ادخلوا في السلم كافة وقال نبينا صلى الله عليه وسلم طوبى للغرباء فقيل من الغرباء يا رسول الله فقال الذين يصلحون ما أفسد الناس من دينه. Ladies and gentlemen, Alhamdulillah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has blessed us with this deen, and while we are studying this deen, one of the main questions that we have been asked about is, why do you guys always have an issue with the liberals? Like the liberals, they promote freedom, they promote the liberal values, they are about liberty and giving freedom to everyone and etc. But as a Muslim, as a person who represents Islam, why are you always, the people like you and the people who are related, okay, so those people, why are they always against liberals? What is the problem with liberals? That's the thing. So main thing is, we have to understand that liberalism and Islam, they can coexist. There's not a problem in that one, but at the same time there are some core differences between those two. Like we have some major differences between the freedom taught in liberalism and like that the freedom taught by others. In Islam, freedom means like I have a certain amount of freedom, and my freedom has two borders. My freedom has two borders. First of all, my freedom, it must be based on what is allowed in Islam. It must be based on what is taught to us by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, what is allowed by Allah, and what is taught to us by Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam. The border of freedom depends on that one. That is the first condition. Second one, my freedom ends in a place where the right of another person starts. My freedom can't go excessive than that. My freedom, it ends in a place where the right of another person starts. So this is the main difference between liberals and Muslims. So in Islam also we have freedom, but the thing is there are like big differences in that one. So liberals mainly, when we are speaking about liberals, the main thing is they say everyone, they have the freedom to do whatever they want, and like they can do whatever they want. For example, if I wish I want to listen to music, I have the freedom to do that, and I can raise the sound as much as I want, and I can dance in the middle of the road, I can be gay, I can do whatever I want, I can just go do all the bad things in the world, but it's my freedom, so I'm free to do that. Okay, so that is what liberalism means. And at the same time, in Islam, it is not like that. As I told, the first condition of our freedom is based upon the guidance of Allah and the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And if what we are doing is against what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has ordered us, it is not going to be our freedom. We are going against the commands of Allah. Second thing, if we are going to do something that is against the sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, we are going to lose benefits. It's not part of our freedom. So this is the first condition. Second one, let me put it easily. So for example, I'm going to be free. So what I'm thinking is, let's take a halal thing, like like listening to the Quran. So what I do is, I want to listen to the Quran. It's my freedom to listen to the Quran, which is allowed by Allah and the Prophet. So what I do is, I play it in a tape recorder, or like in my phone I play it. But at the same time, what I'm doing is, I am increasing the sound of the Quran which is played. Now what happened is, this sound, I am free to increase the sound. I am free to listen to the Quran. It is allowed by Allah and His Prophet. But at the same time, that freedom ends when that sound, even if it is the Quran, when it ends disturbing another person's sleep. He might be sleeping, he might be wasting his time, he might be doing something else which is not related to me, which might be bad in my view. But at the same time, my freedom of listening to the Quran, it ends in the place where I am disturbing that another person. So main thing is, this is the difference between liberalism and Islam. This is the main difference that we have. For example, liberals, they have different kinds of opinions on different things. Like for example, like honestly, if I say that those liberals, for example, when I'm talking, if I'm using a bad word, if I call the liberals they are fucking cunts, what happens is, for example, this is freedom. This is the freedom that liberals This is what they express as freedom. I can do whatever I want. I can talk whatever I want. I can do whatever I want. But main thing is no one can question me. It is me. But in Islam, it is not like that. Islam is about securing the rights of everyone. For example, the words I use, it is a bad one. Okay, so main thing is, if whenever in Islam, if it is a bad word, sallallahu alayhi wasallam, ma kana fahishan wala mutafahishan, sallallahu alayhi wasallam, he has never been a person who was he was not abusive, and at the same time he never used abusive words. That's the meaning. So main thing is in Islam, using bad words, it's not a good thing. And for example, even if it is a thing which is allowed, but it must be private, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, even in the Quran, he uses some words to cover up the main meaning. For example, when in the Quran, when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants to make a statement about making love, a man and a woman, they are making love, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala doesn't use the word like they are having sex or something like that. What Allah says is, when they when they get into what we call that, when they make love to each other, like that, Allah uses the words correctly. But main thing is liberalism, they think that we are free to do whatever we want, and that freedom, no one can question us. But it's not that way. Main thing is we have to understand that, for example, the word I use, it is freedom. According to liberals, it is freedom. But at the same time, my freedom ends. In Islam, it is haram. Because when I speak that word to someone else, what happens is, that person, his dignity, it goes down. He feels bad. I am attacking his dignity. I am attacking his freedom, or I am taking his right away. So main thing is, that's the difference between the liberalism and Islam, the liberal freedom and Islamism. So that's the main thing, but that's the main difference that we have with liberals. Other than that, the freedom, the concept of freedom is cool, but liberals, they have like a sick mentality of how freedom works. For example, today, the trending news we had from yesterday, I guess, the Bollywood actress, she quitted that showbiz industry, and she came back to Islam, she added to the hijab, and like that, she did everything according to what Allah commanded and things like that. She removed her pics and all. And what happened is, finally, she accepted a person. She married a mufti. I forgot his name. She married a person who was having a beard, and he was wearing a jubba, and he was fine and thing like that. So main thing is, in liberalism, we are free to do whatever we want. But at the same time, now you can go and see all the liberals out there. What they do is they condemn her. What they do is they say she might have married that person. What's the reason? Because he might be rich. So she has left all these guys. They have put their ex-boyfriend. I've seen the memes. So main thing is, all her ex-boyfriends, and she left all this, and this is what you get. So main thing is, liberals, they have their value of their own, but outside they think that they are free. But main thing is, it's not like they are free or they are promoting freedom. It is the freedom that they have in their mind. Like I said, in Islam, we have a freedom taught to us by Allah and His Prophet. The same way, liberals, they have a freedom. If you go against it, that's not freedom. For example, Deepika Padukone, she can sleep with anyone she wants, she can date anyone she wants, and finally she will get married to Ranbir Kapoor. These liberals will say that is freedom. But at the same time, another guy, he sleeps with everyone. When asked in an interview, he says that I have slept with more than 300 girls. They will call it freedom, they will call it an achievement. But at the same time, if someone thinks I have to go back to God, I have to redempt for what I have done, I have to go get married to someone else, then the freedom won't play in there. What they do is, they will be saying like, why you are doing like that, you left all those for that, and like that, why are you doing this, things like that. So main thing is, liberals, honestly, the words I used before, which were not good, the words suit them better. The words suit them better, because the main thing is, they are just like pretending to be the promoters of freedom, but they never promote freedom. Main thing, we have to understand one thing. As Muslims, those who are listening, as Muslims, we have to understand the claim of freedom, that we are going to get freedom, has destroyed the Islamic community for years. We have to understand that. Main part is, when the Ottoman sultans were ruling, especially in the period of the last authoritarian Ottoman sultan, even in the period of Sultan Abdul Hamid, the main thing is, one of the Young Turks, a movement which was made by the Emmanuel Caruso and those guys. So main thing is, they wanted freedom. They thought that freedom is doing whatever we want. But the Sultan, he had Islamic rules, so they thought, no, we have to go against the Sultan. We are not having the freedom of our own, so we can do whatever we want. So that is not the thing. Main thing is, freedom must be limited. Whenever I am thinking about my freedom, I have to think about the freedom of another person. If I have the freedom to shout, another person, he has the freedom to be silent. If I have the freedom to raise the voice of music, like raise the sound of music in our house. My neighbor, he has the right to sleep peacefully. So my freedom must not go and damage his peace, his sleep. So main thing is, that is what Islam means. Islam is not about one person's freedom, it is about everyone. So that is the difference between Islamic freedom and liberalism, and that is why we always have an issue with them. And I'm sorry for the word that's used. I just have to say that is how the liberals work. I'm sorry if I have said anything wrong. And at the same time, we have to understand that not everything. I had to say this before, but like when I was saying that liberals think that everything must be shown out. It's not that way. For example, some things we have to keep it inside. We have to like we have to hide it. That is how the things are. For example, one of my she was working with me before. She was a colleague of me when I was in a company. So main thing is, she was a feminist, and honestly feminist. Okay. So main thing is, those feminist guys, they have several issues. Now let's roast them later. Like, I'm troubling here. So main thing is, let's speak about them later. So main thing is, this feminist, what she did was, once she had posted a photo in her Instagram, and she had taken her menstruation pad and she had applied it over her face. So what the hell? So main thing is, I just so we were after that we met her with her, and when I was talking to her, I just asked her, what's that? A nice kind of painting, like things like, what is that? And the caption under that, I knew what it was. We don't have to be ashamed. We don't have to be ashamed. Okay, that was the caption. So now I asked her, why are you doing that? What's with the shame in that one? Okay, you have applied the menstruation blood to your face, and that blood is not good. So isn't it bad? So she told, I'm going to break the taboos. Okay, it's bad. Like, we don't have to be shy about that anymore. We can show it outside. I told, yeah, no one is shy about menstruation. Everyone knows that you guys bleed. Everyone knows it is part of motherhood. Like, if you don't bleed after you become a big person, then it's an issue with you. Like, it's a common thing. Like, we have to bleed if we are going to be a woman. But what's wrong with that? No. She told, she started to explain things. Like, we have the problem, like, if we have menstruation, the problem is people isolate us. And sometimes, as Muslims, we can't touch the Quran, we can't pray, and we can't do tawaf, and things like that. So I want to break the taboo, and I wanted to make sure that this is also a normal thing. The blood I have in there, it is also a normal thing. I told, not, you don't have to show everything that you have. Like, I'm sorry for the example I gave her that time. I was kind of young at that time, so I gave her an example. Just because we have some private organs doesn't mean we have to show it out. Everyone knows that we have. So why are you thinking taboo? Why are you keeping it covered? Show it. No, we don't do like that. Like, those are private parts. We have to keep it private. The same way, menstruation blood, it must also be kept private. For example, if you want to back a barrier, you don't have to post like that. You can do it in another way. Okay, and sometimes main thing is, when you look from a position which is above others, but the thing is, things look a bit different from the top. You have to come down, you have to work with people, you have to speak with people and understand things. So based on the things I used on her, she blocked me. That happened later. So main thing is, we have to understand that the main differences, there are a lot of differences between liberals and Muslims. So that is why we always have an issue. It might be me, it might be the other scholars, it might be the people who are related, and things like that. So that is why we have a serious issue with liberals. I think I have explained this as far as I can, and I'm sorry it was not prepared. I just thought to speak whatever, like, wanted to think, wanted to say what I thought right now. So Jazakumullah khairan, please include me in your valuable du'as. If you have any ideas about that, if you have any doubts about what I have said and things like that, you can, if you're watching this in YouTube, you can comment it. If you're watching this in Insta, you can DM me. And if it is in other place, you can contact us anyway. Jazakumullah khairan.